teach on reducing plastics. Okay, so obviously this is a bunch of plastic bottles. So I guess I pretty much don't even need to ask, but how many of you use plastic pretty much daily? Probably gonna be everyone, yeah. Chances are, after you use that plastic, you probably just chucked it. And that's kind of the main issue that we're having, is that you just use it and pretty much abuse it. You just throw it away. You don't just keep on reusing it. It's just like a one and done type of thing. So the problem is pollution. Connor from Independent UK in 2016 said that 8 million tons of plastic are dumped into the ocean each year. So I think all of you know that plastic's pretty light. So if 8 million tons are ending up in the ocean each year, that's a lot. A lot of it is from how easy plastic is to obtain, how cheap it is. Companies like Ziploc can just pump out plastic bags, anything they want for cheap cost. You're heading to the beach, just chuck some goldfish in a plastic bag, head over there. Your mom's packing your lunch, you just kind of, I don't know, chuck goldfish in there, go to school. It's so easy, and that's kind of the problem. You're done with plastic bags, just throw it away. And Evers in 2014 from National Geographic, I think, said that 90% of plastics we use are just thrown away. So that's going to be water bottles, straws is the big one right now. Pretty much most plastics you use, most things come in a plastic kind of foil around it. You just rip it off and throw it away. It's kind of pointless, but it's so cheap, who cares? Always go the wrong way. And the solution, I would say, would just be use less plastic, and at the same time use plastic that you can use again. So like if you have a plastic water bottle, you could always refill it, or use plastic, always recycling. Like you always see those park benches now where it's like, this was made from 20,000 plastic bottles that we found in the ocean. That's great. It's a great way to use it. But Feltman in 2018 from Washington Post said that straws and other small plastic items don't get through the recycling process correctly, and they end up in the landfill, and those end up in the ocean. And okay, I think I said the 90% source was for this one, and then on this one, the other source was from Evers in Washington Post. It was that the Great Pacific Plastic Basin in between the U.S. or in between Hawaii and California is the size of Texas. And a lot of people think, oh, that big Pacific plastic basin thing, you can just go out there and walk on a bunch of plastic. But no, it's like little pieces of plastic that have just been torn down by torn down by little beads. They're just little buds of plastic, and it's more like that instead of actual big pieces. So the outcome would just be a healthier planet. I think we've all seen the video of this turtle with the straw in its nose. That's actually kind of how a lot of these things start, is people Save the Whales initiative. It's you find a cute animal like a panda, it's save the pandas, okay? So then we all want to save the pandas because we all love pandas, I guess. And I assume most people like turtles, don't want turtles to die. And so you find a cute picture of a turtle, post it on a wall saying save the turtles, and people want to save turtles. Somehow that works, but cute animals tend to work. But Marino from, forgot the source, but he said that, I think it was like healthcare, or nrdc.org, said that many sea life can't tell the difference between plastic and food. So like turtles, they think a lot of plastic bags are jellyfish. A lot of animals, they kind of find out if something is food by putting it in their mouth. So pretty like relatable in that sense. But and then of course, Webster, that one might have been nrdc.org. She said that corals, when they come into contact with plastic, are a lot more likely to get a disease. And when the corals die, then that's the fish's home. And when the fish home dies, then there's no more fish. So yeah, conclusion, talked about like the problems of plastic, a solution, and kind of outcomes on what would happen if we don't fix it with animals dying. If you want to learn more, there's like a documentary called Straws, which is kind of like a play on words for like Jaws, but it was just talking about problems, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it.